Please get ready for dictation of a speech. 5 seconds. Start. Honorable Speaker, Sir, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. There is a severe drought problem in Tamil Nadu. For the last 6 months, there is no rain in the state. We are not getting Kaveri water also. Not only people, animals are also suffering because of this. I would request that this should be treated as a national calamity, national disaster, and some funds should be allocated to the state out of the National Disaster Management Fund. At least rupees 1000 crore should be allocated to Tamil Nadu to address the water scarcity problem. Honorable Chairman, Sir, I wish to draw the attention of the House to a very serious issue pertaining to the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. During the election, we have seen a channel which was set up explicitly for the purpose of campaigning under the guise of spreading information about welfare schemes to the public. This was set up by one political party. It was completely below the radar of everybody, and this was closed immediately after the election. Sir, in the 16th Lok Sabha, I have moved a private member's resolution. A detailed discussion took place on the resolution, and finally the government was forced to constitute a committee to revamp the Employees Pension Scheme, which comes under the Employee Provident Fund Act. A committee has been constituted to revamp the Employees Pension Scheme. As the Honourable Minister has rightly stated in the answer, a committee was constituted and the committee has submitted its recommendations. My point is that the entire House has supported the resolution cutting across party political barriers. Everybody has supported the resolution and finally a committee has been constituted. The recommendation has come in the month of December 2018. It is quite unfortunate to note the answer given by the Honourable Minister. There, regarding clause 5, no decision has been taken to restore the commuted value of pension. Sir, if a cashew worker is commuting an amount of rupees 50,000 from her pension after 15 years, the entire amount will be realized from the pension. An amount of rupees 1 lakh has already been reimbursed from her pension. What she has advanced is only rupees 50,000. Sir, my specific question to the Honourable Minister is this. It has been assured by the then Minister in the 16th Lok Sabha that it will be reviewed. In part 5, I asked whether the government also proposes to stop the realization of amount from the pension on account of commutation of pension. After realizing the commuted amount will be reviewed. Here, the answer is that no decision has been taken because of paucity of funds. But my question is, how can you realize the money of a poor pensioner after realizing the entire amount which has already been commuted? May I know whether a specific assurance will be given by the Honourable Minister so that the 65 lakhs of pensioners in the country will be benefited? Before 2014, the minimum eligibility of pension was 10 years of continuous service. That means after the scheme was amended in 2014, a minimum attendance of 365 days is required for getting minimum pension. A worker has to work for 365 days in a year. Nowhere it is even heard of. As far as the poor workers in the country are concerned, they have to work for 365 days in a year. Where is the law? My specific question to the Honourable Minister in Part A of my second supplementary is whether the minimum eligibility of 365 days for pension will be reviewed. Part B of my second supplementary is whether any recommendation has come from the Finance Ministry that the interest on the Provident Fund amount has to be reduced. Honourable Speaker, Sir, thank you for giving me this opportunity. I have gone through the reply given by the Honourable Minister. Unfortunately, I am not satisfied. I have got the answer, but it is not proper. Sir, we know that India is a living museum. India is home to several stone and metal sculptures dating back to centuries. Most of them are not documented, and these priceless sculptures have found their way to museums and personal collections abroad. There are many antiques and paintings which were stolen and sold to foreign buyers. We need to ensure that these treasures do not stay lost forever, though there is a steady increase in demand of Indian objects. There needs to be registering and auditing of these objects. So I would like to know from the Honorable Minister the reasons as to why we do not have any idea on the artifacts held by foreign countries. Sir, my second question is this. Quoting the Honorable Prime Minister, I wish to say that the heritage becomes important in relation to two countries. These are part of our culture and heritage. So I would like to know from the Honorable Minister what measures are being taken to identify, register and audit these priceless cultural and heritage products in detail so that we can make a proper claim on these artifacts. Honorable Speaker, sir, in the list of artifacts which have been got back, I think Tamil Nadu has got the highest number. In Tamil Nadu, we have lost a lot of idols, artifacts and antiques because absolutely there is no record of what we have. Many of the idols are locked away in temples and we do not know as to how many artifacts and idols are there. When they are opened after many years, we do not know as to how many have been lost. There is no record of what we have and what we have lost. So the government should make sure that each idol in every temple is recorded. In some temples, even some granite statues have been removed and replaced. When you hear such things, it is very shocking. Therefore, I would like to know as to what the government is doing to make recordings of it. Another serious problem is with regard to the lack of employment opportunities for the educated youth. Crores and crores of people are lingering for want of jobs. As a result, a lot of communal riots are going on. These things should be attended to immediately. The Karnataka government is very much adamant as they are not releasing irrigation water for the crop season in which the crops are cultivated. As per the court order, the Kaveri Management Board have also ordered the same, but so far water has not been released. About 55 honorable members of parliament have requested the government of India and the Prime Minister to intervene immediately so that the particular issue is sorted out quickly. But the government is keeping silent on this matter. Moreover, because the crops are not being, but the government is keeping silent on this matter. Moreover, because the crops are not being cultivated or for want of water, the farmers could not repay the loan received by them. So that is why the government should come forward to see that the farm loan is waived off without any further delay. Madam, the long pending issue is that the Tamil language should be made as an official language. It is because Tamil language is still dynamic and vibrant and flourishing. It must be seen as an official language of this country. People all over Tamil Nadu, irrespective of their political affiliations, have craved hard for it. What is wrong in it? At least for now, we want that Tamil language should be introduced as an official language within the state of Tamil Nadu in public sector undertakings and in the central government offices. That is what we want, but nothing has been done. The honorable members of parliament are going on requesting the government of India, but they are not doing it. Not only Tamil Nadu, but all the state governments should come forward and introduce their respective state language as a medium of expression in the government offices as well as in the public sector undertakings. Irrespective of languages, all the state governments and the government of India should come forward in introducing it as official languages of the states. Madam, women's reservation is pending for so many years. There have been a lot of discussions going on every now and then. Whenever the parliament is convened, honorable members of parliament say outrightly that the women's reservation bill should be introduced and about 1/3 reservation should be given. But nothing is moving on. My party wholeheartedly supports to see that it is definitely passed in this session without fail. Madam, I thank you profoundly for giving me this opportunity to speak on the motion of thanks on the President's address. Madam, I was very happy to hear the President's address because he covered various people-centric activities and he also mentioned about economic growth, environment, employment, helping farmers and various other developmental activities. It is a welcome move that the government is envisaging to do various developmental activities in the coming 5 years. This session assumes great significance, especially after the massive mandate the NDA has got for the second time. A massive mandate means huge responsibility. There are a lot of expectations from the public. The people are expecting a lot from this government, especially people of my state of Andhra Pradesh. Translation of the aspirations of the people into reality will require a great deal of cooperation between the center and the states. We wish this government extends maximum support to states like Andhra Pradesh or other states which are not ruled by the BJP. Stop.